up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly.
Hello there everyone, and welcome to today's Values Assembly. We're going to kick this off obviously in our usual ways. So, for each other we, every day we, to improve we, and together we will. And our everyday focuses are, and our Stukeley motto is, and our Stukeley curriculum is, and 4 words that make the magic happen. Brilliant. Okay, so here we are at another Values Assembly. Let's just recap a little bit and think into last week. We were talking about a word beginning with R. Can I hear anyone call out that word? Yep, it's that one. It's the respect word. We were talking about respecting one another and also respecting things. I've heard on other assemblies during the last few days and into the end of last week, Mrs. Singletary talking about looking after the new toys and stuff and equipment that we put into the lunchtime and playtime playground boxes. So respecting those things, looking after property, all of those things come under that banner of respect, and it is a British value, but it's also a really important Stukeley Meadows value. And today we're going to continue thinking about values and about our Stukeley values, which also come under that wider umbrella. Do you remember of British values, what it is to be part of the wider community of the United Kingdom? And for this assembly, you will need some paper, and just scrap paper is fine, or a whiteboard and a pencil, something to write with. So you might need to pause me to make sure you've got those things handy. Hopefully everyone's got those things. Okay, so today's assembly is all about friendship. Now, I have done many assemblies over even recent months and over the years on this topic, and I will probably do lots and lots more because it's such a big thing, isn't it? We all need friends, we need supporters around us, people who believe in us, people who encourage us, people who help make us feel better when we're not feeling too good. And people who kind of help us to keep on going, even if we really want to give up. And so we are talking about friends and friendship because it is such an important part of my life and of your lives and all of our lives. The first thing I want you to do is on your piece of paper, and you're not going to need to show it to anyone, but I would like you to just write down the name of one of your really special friends, and you can just cover it up again, okay? Everybody done that? Brilliant. Okay, now I would like you to write down 3 things that you really appreciate about that person. 3 things that you would consider perhaps to be their best qualities. What is it that you really admire and respect and value in that person? So you might need to pause me now, but go for it. 3 things. Doesn't need to be too long. Okay, stop. So you've got the name of the person. We don't need to know the name. That can just remain secret, just so that it's in your brain. You've written 3 things, 3 qualities about that person that you really appreciate, perhaps why they're your friend. Now, what I want us to do as classes, and we will pause in a second, I would like you, without mentioning any names, to just begin to share. So we've got kind of a class list of qualities in friends. What is it about somebody that makes them a good friend? What are the qualities we look for in a person or we admire in someone that we consider to be our friend? So those 3 things that you've written down, you can all share now 1 or 2 of those as a class. So pause me to kind of put together a class list. Excellent. So hopefully you've got a list of phrases and words that describe people good qualities in somebody. I'm sure you came up with lots and lots of things that you really appreciate in your friends. I expect things like kindness and generosity and all of those things were on that list, or words to that effect. I don't imagine for 1 minute that anyone suggested that one of the words to describe their friends was mean or selfish or bossy or a big cheat. I don't expect those were phrases or words that you would have used, because those kind of character traits, those behaviours, we wouldn't really associate with friendship, would we? That's more like the kind of language we would use when we were talking about somebody we didn't like very much, or who we didn't admire very much, or didn't think was a very good friend. But it's really important to think about that, though, isn't it? To think about the kind of words that we might use to describe someone that we wouldn't consider to be very nice. Because I bet there are times when you have been a bit grumpy, or you've called somebody a name because they got on your nerves, or because they called you one first, for example. I bet there have also been times when you've been absolutely desperate to be out of that door first to playtime, or desperate to be the first one to get the skipping rope out of the playground equipment box. And in so doing, you've kind of elbowed other people out of the way and shoved them out of the way just so that you could be there first. See, the thing is, we all make mistakes, don't we, with our behaviour. Sometimes we behave in ways that we kind of didn't really intend to. It just kind of happened. But unfortunately, sometimes we aren't always very respectful or very nice in the way that we behave or in the way that we react, even if it's kind of accidental in a way, and we've not really thought it through. We all do it sometimes. Now, the thing is, if we always behaved in that way, if it wasn't just an accident or we just had a really bad day and so we were a bit grumpy, if we were like that all the time, what do you think the result would be? Well, the simple thing is, isn't it, is that what would happen if we were kind of all those character traits that we associate not with a friend, but with a not friend, then we probably wouldn't have any friends. We'd be really lonely, wouldn't we? We'd be struggling to keep hold of our friends if we were always mean, always grumpy, never shared. The fact that sometimes we might be like that is just one of those things that happens sometimes. But if we were always like that, we wouldn't have friends, would we? So it's really important to think about it when we behave in certain ways, and when we say certain things, and when we react in certain ways, that we need to think about, what is it? Who do I want to be? What kind of a person do I want to be? What kind of friend do I want to be? Do I want to be that grumpy one who's not actually a great friend? Or do I want to be the one that sometimes can be grumpy, because we all can be, but actually that's not who I am most of the time? So I want you to have a little think to yourself, just to yourself right now, to think about a time when perhaps you know you could have been a bit nicer. Or you could have been a little bit kinder. You don't need to tell anyone about it, but just think about it in your head. Was there an occasion when you know you haven't been the best version of you that you could have been, or the best friend that you could have been? Have a little think. Maybe it was a time when you weren't quite as nice and friendly as you could have been. And maybe you actually upset your friend, and you had a bit of a falling out because of it. Does that ring any bells? Has anyone ever been there? I know I have. So my wondering is this one. If that has happened and there's been a falling out, can friendships be mended and put back together again? I wonder what you think about that. And if they can be put back together again, how? How can we do that? So I would like teachers to pause me and have a really quick 1-2 minute chat tops, just to share ideas about what we can do when friendship maybe has kind of come under strain, maybe because of things we've said or done by accident, or just one of those things. How can we put things back together again and make it right? So pause me now. Okay, so I'm sure you've had some really good thoughts about that, everybody. I'm sure you mentioned at the top of your list that it's really, really important to say sorry, to admit when you've done something wrong and own your mistake. Yes, I made a mistake. Now, the thing is, none of us like to be wrong, but at some point we always do get something wrong. Nobody is perfect. And the simple thing is, we just have to admit it, even though it can be really painful to admit it. We have to accept we've done something wrong and we need to say sorry. Absolutely. So I'm sure you've all said that. The other thing that you might have mentioned is that when you say sorry, that you have to really mean it. Sorry isn't just like sorry and then you carry on the way you were before. Sorry is about a change of heart, isn't it? A change of attitude, a change of behaviour. And if we don't do that, if we say sorry but keep on doing the wrong thing or keep making that mistake in the way that we behave, then people begin to wonder if we really are sorry. So to be sorry, we have to make an effort to change, to actually do things differently. The other thing is that the person on the receiving end of the sorry kind of needs to accept the apology as well, don't they? And that can be really hard because sometimes it's not always easy to accept an apology and to say sorry if somebody has really hurt you. Sometimes a wound, and we all know that whilst we can fall over and hurt ourselves and get a cut on our leg or something on the outside, we also know we can get wounds on the inside, can't we? So sometimes those inside wounds, when people have hurt us with the things they've said or done, they can take quite a long time to heal. So as we go into this week, I want us to be mindful. I want us to really think about the way that we behave, the way we treat our friends, and the things that we say, because our words are powerful. And if we say unkind words to people, they can hurt. And it can take a long time for someone to feel that they can forgive you, even if you've said sorry and you meant it. So we need to be really mindful. Think about how we behave, think about what we say and what we do in terms of our friends this week. So I want us to think about that. You may have heard of something called the Golden Rule. Now, this Golden Rule is one of these rules that's probably built into most laws in most countries, most faith groups, most cultures, most societies will adhere, that means stick to and believe in this rule. And what it basically is you need to treat people the way you want them to treat you. Okay? And that is really important, isn't it? As we go into this week, let's think about making that golden rule a golden rule for Stukeley Meadows School. To treat others the way we want them to treat you. Now, I think we all want to have great friends around us. So in order for us all to have great friends around us, we need to be great friends to other people. And that means being really thoughtful about the things we say, being really kind with the things that we do, and always thinking about treating people the way we would have them treat us. So that is today's assembly. Friendship, it links with respect. It's an important British value and it's an important Stukeley value. So take that with you into this week, everybody. And I hope you have a really happy week and a really friendly week, Stukeley Meadows. Take care and see you next time.
Thank you, Mrs. Stevens. Another really powerful values message and something for everybody to listen to, not just children, adults too. Stukeley adults, come on, let's get our best better. Right, let's finish off some shout outs. I've not got as many as yesterday. Yesterday there were far too many shout outs. But what I can say is, yesterday we gave out the first few big old skipping ropes. So a couple of year groups have got them. I've seen some great techniques so far. More of those to come out today. Yes! Right, millionaire, no birthdays today. Another day without birthdays. Anyway, millionaires. Lauren in year 6. You are an accelerated reader millionaire. I'm delighted to say that. Absolutely brilliant news. Let's have a celebration in class at least. Not sure we're going to squeeze in another million before you leave us, but great achievement to end on. Let's get as close to 1.5 as we can. Top work, Lauren. Great reading all round. Right, let's go on to a cheeky little bit of Numbots and Rock Stars.
Who's been doing lots of maths? Jam is stored in jars. Who's been calculating lots on Numbots and TT Rockstars? Who's been doing lots of maths? Jam is stored in jars. Who's been calculating lots on Numbots and TT Rockstars?
Yes, it is. I love these moments. Right, Stukeley children have been working extremely hard on Numbots and Rockstars last week. Lots of children cracked on. Still got quite a few in foundation. I've got a lot in, which one? A lot in Rowan class that haven't been, in fact, a lot in Juniper and Rowan, and then quite a few in year one. So lots of reminders needed there. But well done in Juniper class. You got 17,907 and you beat Rowan, who only got 15,108 in Numbox last week. Top 3 players, Matthew, Roman and Aaron, Reese, Amanda and Sebastian in the other class. Year 1, 40,709, that's Magnolia, and 21,637, that's Cherry. So Magnolia take it, Sadie, Freddie and Lily A, top 3 in Magnolia, Maya, Amelie Rose and Mahjong, top 3 in Cherry. Year 2, I don't think I've ever seen one this close. Now remember, for the last 2 weeks, Pine class have lost to Maple, and that's the first 2 defeats for Pine class in about half a year. They lost the last 2. Have they managed to pull it back this week? Well, Pine class got 31,156. Maple class got 31,968. Maple class take it again, 3 weeks in a row. Top 3 players, Thomas, Olivia and Otis in Pine. Thomas with a massive score. Angus, Leon and Max, top 3 in Maple. Angus with another outstanding score. There to take it for Maple, year 3. Well, I can tell you that Bo, Oscar, Yasmin, Harry, Cameron and Adam were the top 6 players in year 3. I can also tell you Willow 16,069, Lime 19,452. That is close. Willow are getting closer. I cannot wait to celebrate their victory soon. Year 4, Alan, Sowler and Amy, top 3 in Acacia. Berwin, Joseph, Rhiannon, top 3 in Birch. Only 6,732 overall for Acacia. That's disappointing for Acacia, but 15,944 for Birch. Top work, Birch. You take it. Year 5, Tashina, Sophia and Zachary, top 3 players. Christian, Josh G, Ava, top 3 players. 9,545 for Beach. 11,514 for Chestnut. They take it. Finally, year 6, 8,210 for Oak. 12,529 for Sycamore. Alfie up the top, come on. Alfie, Damien and Jessica top 3. George, Philip, Heather top 3. There your Numbox and rock stars. Well done everyone joining in. Really good to see. Lots of great maths going on. I think that's it for shout outs. Scares me. Let's finish off with the most important 60 seconds.
The most important 60 seconds are coming up now. The most important 60 seconds are coming up now.
Manners. No, seriously, I haven't talked about good manners for a long time. I've talked about work hard, be kind. I've talked about Stukeley values and care, but a small part of be kind and a small part of care is good manners. I haven't talked about this for ages, but I was in the dinner hall yesterday and lots of children were going through collecting their lunch. Quite a lot said thank you when they got given their food. Quite a lot didn't say anything. Quite a few children asked for more water, or a lunchtime supervisor, or somebody said, what would you like for your pudding? Quite a few children said, please. Quite a lot didn't say anything. We're better than this, Stukeley. Whenever somebody asks you a question, whenever somebody talks to you, whenever you're talking to somebody or asking somebody a question, think about your manners. Is a please or a thank you appropriate? Most of the time it is. Put in a please if you're asking a question, or put in a thank you if somebody's giving you something. Please think about your pleases and thank yous. They are the most important part of the world. The work hard, be kind and care. Keeps the world going round, keeps smiles on people's dials. Please and thank you. Doesn't cost a thing.